What's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing today? I myself am doing great. And why, you may ask? Because I'm finally going to put to bed Five's death. You see, whenever I have downtime from the oh so thrilling job that I have, I do find myself browsing TikTok. Yes, I know, I'm a horrible human being for using TikTok. But nonetheless, I see quite a bit of debate when it comes to how Fives died in Season 6, Episode 4. You'd be surprised how many people will actually defend Fox's actions in that scene. No. No, if Fox was playing a choose your adventure game, he would have picked every wrong choice possible. Now, I just want to provide a little backstory to kind of give some context to the scene for everyone. So for those of you who need it, spoiler alerts ahead. So I'm going to start with Fives. Now, Fives was a clone trooper who was a part of the 501st Legion. During the course of the Clone Wars, he served under Anakin Skywalker and Captain Rex. Throughout the war, Fives rose from being just a private to an ARC trooper. You know, the dudes with the really cool helmets. At least I thought they were cool. They were my favorite helmet style. Anyways, towards the end of the Clone Wars, shortly after the Umbara campaign, Fives began unraveling the secret to the inhibitor chips that were implanted in every clone that would eventually lead to Order 66. Once discovering this information, he'd bring this info before Chancellor Palpatine, who we all know was orchestrating the entire war in the beginning, and the downfall of the Jedi. What Palpatine decided to do was, once he heard Fives' discovery, decided to reveal the entire plot to Fives, which I believe sent Fives into a panic state. Rather than driving him crazy, I think he was just panicking. So then Fives would then work his way to relaying this info to Anakin and Rex. And that's basically just a short summary that leads up to the scene. Again, I don't want to spend too long on the backstory. I'd rather spend more time on my analysis of the death scene. But I'm going to tackle Fox real quick. Now, Fox led the Coruscant Guard, which was more so a police force or security personnel for senators as well as prisoner transport. Now, these clones rarely saw action in the war, which serves a point to what I'm about to discuss in the scene when it comes to Fox. But all you really need to know is that Fox led this battalion and would most likely receive orders from the Chancellor himself, as the Coruscant Guard had no Jedi General to lead the battalion. So I'm going to go on to the scene. Alright, so we open up with gunships coming in, where Fox and his men are preparing to infiltrate the warehouse that Fives has Anakin and Rex trapped in. Now, right here, this entire group already knows the situation they're going in. Sure, they could have had any orders given to them by Chancellor Palpatine, any orders at all, but at any point, anyone here could have set their weapons to stun, which these weapons were equipped with a stun capability. This is a police force, keep in mind. The whole point of this battalion is to be a police and security force. So they have incapacitating capabilities, such as stun weapons, anything you could think of to neutralize a criminal. So at any point here, they could have gotten a stun weapon to stun Fives. They did not do that. So here we see Fox and his men walking into the warehouse. Now, a lot of arguments that I see is it was a very time-sensitive situation. They had to react quickly. Anakin and Rex are in zero danger, but I can understand maybe Fox and his men did not know that. But they're just walking in the warehouse. There's zero sense of urgency. None. They're walking in. If it was so time sensitive for them to rescue Anakin and Rex, you'd think they'd be running in. You'd think they'd be trying to get in as fast as possible, but they're not. The other thing is, too, they're rescuing Anakin Skywalker, which, by this point in the war, has earned a reputation of one of the most capable Jedi that there is. So, me personally, if I hear that one of the most capable Jedi has gotten himself trapped by a clone trooper, I'm probably going to think he can get himself out. Or at least can keep himself alive. There's been so many worse situations that Anakin's been in than this. But again, zero sense of urgency. So they're not rushing in like they feel like that this is like time sensitive. So as they're walking in, they can still set their weapons to stun, but they're not doing that at any point. Now, I understand that at this point everybody thinks that Fives has tried to assassinate the Chancellor. So with that being said, I can understand arguments of, well, it's shoot to kill. But if that was the case, they would have brought a sniper in, got to a high point, and sniped Fives. Or from their crate that they're hiding behind, They would have just shot him point blank, period. Now, they have the jump on Fives. Fives has no weapon in hand right now. He has no idea they're here. They have the element of surprise. At any point, Fox could have set his pistol to stun, aimed it at Fives, and shoot, while Fives had no idea. Could have crept a little closer. Maybe distance was an issue. He could have crept a little closer. But at no point does he do this. And again, if he had orders to kill Fives, there's multiple points, multiple things that show that those orders didn't exist. One of which being they could have just put a sniper at some point to take out Fives. Another thing is Anakin and Rex are behind a ray shield. They're trapped. At no point does it show that they're in any type of danger. So there's no reason for what's about to happen to happen. There is so much time that Fox has before Fives grabs his gun to stun him, especially if his weapon was set to stun prior to engaging. There's no reason to rush him like this whatsoever, but he is rushing him. Again, any point he can stun, any point. Any point one of his soldiers can stun. They're practically waiting for Fives to have a weapon in hand to then shoot him. Now, the other thing is, Fox is screaming out, "Don't do it. Don't do it." If he had orders to kill Fives, he would have killed him by now. He wouldn't be telling him not to shoot. Part of how I feel about this scene is I feel like with the lack of combat that the Coruscant Guard would receive throughout the war, not only it makes them pretty ill prepared for combat situations, but it makes them trigger happy. And I feel like part of that is the reason that led Fox to being so ill prepared for the scene, as well as trigger happy for it. Now, the best argument I've seen when it comes to this scene, when it comes to what Fox was doing, is that he was given an order by the Chancellor to kill Fives and make it look like he had no choice, to make it look like an accident, which does explain a lot of the sloppiness, explains why Fox didn't have his gun set to stun, why he rushed him and then waited to shoot until Fives grabbed his gun, which again is an excellent argument, the only one that I can think makes the most sense for this scene. But as far as I'm aware, there is no order that exists that would force a soldier to carry out a command like that. I could be wrong. And I can't foresee a clone willingly kill another clone. We've seen clones kill clones before, such as on Umbara, but they were tricked into that. And, we've seen clones desert, and we've seen clones betray their fellow soldiers, such as Slick, but Slick, as far as I'm aware, didn't kill anyone. He just put everyone in danger. That's the exact words that I remember hearing from. It was either Rex or Cody. But for a clone to receive orders to kill another clone, I cannot see them following suit with that order. I also cannot foresee Chancellor Palpatine exposing himself like that to his commander by saying something like that to kill him but make it look like an accident. Stuff like that raises questions. I personally feel like this entire situation could have been avoided had Fox set his weapons to stun, had they approached this as if they were approaching a civilian situation. Again, these soldiers are specifically trained to be a policing force for Coruscant, which is one of the most populated planets in the galaxy, as well as prisoner transport, dealing with criminals and stuff like that. So it makes no sense to me why none of them had neutralizing capabilities to neutralize the criminal, why they went in with live guns, why their tactics were so sloppy for a hostage situation. It's my personal opinion that if Fox was a better soldier, if he was better prepared, a lot of choices would have been done differently, which would have led to Fox not killing Fives, and it would have led to Fives actually still being alive. Possibly even, who knows what could have happened. Maybe he would have been in prison when Order 66 happened and never gotten the order. Who knows? It'd be a very good story for a hypothetical story, if he ever reunites with Echo. But yeah, I've been seeing quite a lot of debate on his death scene, and Fives is one of my favorite clones, and I feel like he was completely wronged in this scene. I feel like Fox really shit the bed with what he did and how so many chances he had to make different choices. So many chances. But yeah, I just wanted to give my take on that. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you guys think that, maybe Fox did receive specific orders and did what he was supposed to do, or if you think Fox was sloppy, to each is their own. No ill will to how anybody feels, but I do advocate that Fives could have lived or should have lived through this. All right. See ya.